Hey everybody, how you doing? Mr. H here with you, man. Happy Valentine's Day. Welcome to Planet Earth. We got history, dinosaurs, and football. Hey, what else do you need? So I was thinking about the American Revolution. Not the way it's taught here. I was thinking about how it was taught in Great Britain. So I actually know a British guy, and I was asking him about, hey, how do you guys teach the American Revolution over in Britain? Well, of course, part of how they teach it is that, you know, they were winning and chasing us and making us retreat all the time, which, you know, in the beginning, fair to say they were, Battle of Long Island and all that. But you know how it ended, right? It's not how it starts, how it ends. In the end, we win. We adapted, used guerrilla tactics and a mix of continental warfare, continental meaning European, the Continental Army and all that. And we end up winning it in the end. Now, did the loss the British take in the American Revolution, did it really disrupt the empire? Did it really destroy the empire? Not really. I mean, all things said and done, the British may have, caught one in the chin, but they weren't knocked out. The British Empire is still the strongest in the world. The trade links with the former colonies were reestablished. Leads to the question, why didn't you just let them go? But anyway, at the end of the day, the British Empire wasn't really that affected by it. And they just really don't talk a lot about it in Great Britain. Now, one reason is, well, you're hanging out at the pub all day cheering for, Manchester United or whoever that is. They wear red, right? It looks kind of like a generic picture. So if you're at the pub half drunk cheering about, soccer or football as they call it over there, you don't really think about the American Revolution too much. Another reason they don't really teach much about the American Revolution is because, well, Britain had some bigger stuff right across the channel. Had the French Revolution, and that's supposed to be a picture of Napoleon there on the other side. Not sure what happened, but they had bigger stuff going on. American Revolution. Well, Yorktown was in 1781. They got around to signing a treaty in 1783. 6 years later, France goes up, and all of Europe gets pulled in. Yeah, even the War of 1812 doesn't gather much of a mention, in British classes. Just other stuff going on, man. At the end of the day, turns out the war in the colonies didn't really mean a whole lot. So that's kind of interesting. Now, in the 20th century, we fought together alongside against, the Germans, and then later on the Nazis took over Germany. So, a lot of blood in the same mud. So, the stuff about the Revolutionary War and the War of 1812 just kind of went over there to the side there. Ever hear of Diabloceratops? Yeah, I never heard of this thing until yesterday. Diablo, look at those horns sticking out the top over there. I guess that's where they got the name from. Kind of a vicious looking animal if you're a meat eater. It's a plant eater. So you might not be in too much danger, but like buffalo and rhino, if you get too close, it might charge you. So remember that when you go back to the Cretaceous period. This lived in western North America about 81 million years ago. Wasn't around that long, a mere million years ago. He's about 12, 13 years for T Rex. This is clearly the ancestor of Triceratops. There he is, claiming his territory. Got those big horns coming out, so, probably not going to argue with it too much. Kind of wonder what the function of those horns were. My first thought is to put a big rubber band in between them and launch things like a, catapult, but that's just me. A lot of people, of course, say it never existed. Not sure, what those horns are for. That belong to some other animal. They found, 4 or 5 specimens with the horns, so clearly there for a reason, some sort of mating display, maybe? I don't know. Very strange. There he is, just chilling out. It's about, not big as a Triceratops, but it gets up there. The size estimates kind of vary, but we're looking around roughly 20 feet long. And it weighs about 2.5 tons. So, looks like he's just having a nice day, chilling there in the sun. But again, like with buffalo or rhino, you don't get too close to them. Yep, and what was the thing out there hunting Diabloceratops? It was Lithoronix. That means Gore King. That look familiar? Kind of an interesting body plan there, don't you think? Yeah, looks like T-Rex, a little bit smaller. Not exactly a small animal, but not as big as T-Rex. See, everyone's under this impression of T-Rex and Triceratops just suddenly appeared somewhere in the, Cretaceous. You know, they had to evolve to get there. So before there was T-Rex versus Triceratops, there was Lithoronix versus Diabloceratops. So it's just like it's an arms race. They both just get bigger and bigger horns and bigger teeth and bigger jaws. You know, so if you ever get confused about the Cold War, just think about theropods and ceratopsians in the late Cretaceous. Hey, got to give a quick shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. Won the Super Bowl over New England Patriots. That's really all I have to say about that. I didn't really mind. It was kind of a low-scoring defensive game. In the fourth period, it really got rolling because both teams are desperate knowing the season's ending. But good job, Seahawks. New England, most victories, tied with the Steelers, of course, at 6. Also, most defeats, 6. Kind of an interesting playoff history. But aside from that, here's the big news in football. Look at this. The North Dakota State Bison are in the Mountain West. They left the FCS to join the FBS. I just wish they hadn't left after losing that playoff game to Illinois State. Been nice they did it, after winning a championship like 2024. But yeah, this has been something been around for a while, and they've joined the Mountain West. And I'm excited by it, man. I mean, this is great. I love it. Look at this lineup. I mean, it's not it's not Alabama, Georgia here, but I mean, I'd love to see Pitt, but Mr. H isn't running this thing. Got Air Force, Hawaii. That's going to be interesting when Hawaii shows up here in Fargo for, winter. Thank God they got a dome. There's Nevada, New Mexico, Northern Illinois University. So you thought North Dakota was kind of to the east. How about Northern Illinois there? Hey, you see the Corinthian helmet there. San Jose Spartans. No, Mr. H didn't do that, but he's happy to see it. UNLV playing there in Vegas. UTEP, University of Texas, El Paso, and of course we've got Wyoming, the Wyoming Cowboys, like the Dallas Cowboys. They are trying to find a rival for Mr. H to hate. But I think this is a great move. I think NDSU is going to do great. I'm excited for it. This is going to be a really awesome season coming up. Now, when you transfer to another conference or you move up a level, okay, there's a 2-year transition period where you play, but you're not eligible for postseason or the conference championship. You can go to a bowl game if they don't have enough FBS teams with 6 wins. And since there are like 800 bowls, and North Dakota State probably get to go to one of them, they've applied for a waiver. And I agree, there should be a waiver. And the Mountain West has endorsed this waiver because they got the transfer portal, translation free agency. So you could get enough people to suddenly, get up to the level you need to be. So, college football's kind of turned into a minor pro league here. But, like I said, just watching and enjoying the whole show. Well, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you have a fantastic Valentine's Day. Spend it with somebody special. If you don't have anybody special, you'll find them. Don't worry about it. I mean, Mr. H can do it. Anybody can, right? So in the meantime, have a lot of chocolate. Try not to make yourself too sick. And have yourself a fantastic day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Das vidania.